doing, Nick? You are? Dude, you had me scared. You know, I told you get me nervous when you.
Yeah, dude. Just real quick, my therapy session. I was a little late showing up, and then I was like super late getting out. So it was kind of like, you know what I mean? And I didn't really have access to my phone to text, and it was, real pain in the ass. But I tried to do it on Thursday so I have something to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny.
Was it a productive session?
Well, I will tell you that if you're looking for a list of things never to say to your therapist, you can start with the phrase, if I was in charge of ISIS.
Oh, shit. Oh,
okay, so, yeah.
Wait, because our guest is on hold, and she's a comedian. I can tell, I can already tell, I haven't brought her on yet. She's got to be laughing at this, and she probably wants a piece of this. So let's get her on here. Let's welcome to the show our new friend, the one and only Suzanne Westenhoefer. Hello, Suzanne. How you doing?
I'm having a day.
You're having a day?
I'm having a day.
Think your day's about to get a little more interesting.
That would be fantastic, because today has just been crap. Are you allowed to say crap? Are we allowed to say crap? I'm just checking.
Yeah, you can say anything you want.
Wow. Fantastic. That sounds wonderful.
So my co-host, Nick, he just recently started going to see a therapist, and he had his session earlier, and he was late for the show.
I heard he was upset because he couldn't be on Twitter or something, right? He's upset because he didn't. I totally get it.
So Nick, what did you tell your therapist now?
Okay, so we were talking about the fact that, like, if I'm driving down the street and I see, like, a box or, like, a giant trash bag, like, sort of out of place, I swerve around it because, I was in the Army and I had friends that were killed, and I understand there's no IEDs in America, okay? I do accept that as a reality. But he was like, well, why do you think you do that? And I started the sentence with, if I was in charge of ISIS, and that's where the conversation sort of broke down.
Yeah. Now, that's weird. He's a therapist. Seems like he should, totally get you're just having a moment where you'd want to be something different than what you are.
Well, and that's the thing. I wasn't saying I wanted to join ISIS. I was just saying if I was in charge.
It's a fantasy. They're supposed to be into that. Yeah.
And it's not even a fantasy. Like, I don't want to be a member. I'm just saying that if it was my responsibility as the leader to terrorize another country, I wouldn't terrorize them by attacking the Super Bowl, because that's where people expect things like that to happen. I would
good
terrorize
point.
Suburban moms by, having stuff happen in neighborhoods, because
isn't their life hard enough?
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're not trying hard enough. I'm saying if I was doing it, that's what I would do. I don't want joining ISIS, but if I was, that would be my plan. That's all I was saying, and he got a little offended.
I feel like we're all going to be on 2020 in 6 months going, well, Nick just said he wasn't going to join. What he said was, and we all thought he was kidding. I guess it was supposed to be like a fantasy. And so we're sorry to all those suburban moms out in Indiana. We could have stopped it.
Well, look, I apologize ahead of time if you go to get on the plane for your next gig and you're on the no-fly list. That's my bad.
Oh, my God. Hey, I'm a lesbian. I don't have no kids. I'm not in the suburbs. I'm all good.
There you go.
White lesbian. We are no trouble to anybody, usually, generally. Unless you're mean to dogs, then we get insane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then we get ugly.
As I go through and start investigating about you and research and all that, I think one of the most disturbing facts I find out is that you're from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Come on. I'm actually from Columbia, Pennsylvania, which is like a little teeny town in Lancaster County. I grew up on the river, yo. I'm a river rat.
Wow.
And we're proud of that, sadly. We didn't understand when people were calling us that it was some sort of bad thing. We were like, hey, we're river rats. Look at us. Not a lot of college graduates. That's all I'm saying.
So did you have many dealings with the Amish people? Because them people frightened me to death.
Oh, you don't need to be. Yes, I did. Because my mother was what we used to call a secretary for eye doctors. That they had some Amish patients, and so my mom became friends with them, and they had kids, and she would take us, single mom. She would take us to the farms, and she'd be like, okay, let's all play. And then you're there with these Amish kids, and, we're regular kids, so we're going, let's play Batman and Robin. Amish kids are like, what? They don't have TV. They didn't have popular culture, so that was fun. So then we would just go behind the barn and drink scotch because, basically that's all they have. That's all they have to do.
Holy cow. Yeah,
Smoke
I
some
can't
cigarettes
imagine.
because, they grow tobacco. Try to fit in.
Yeah, they see that's the whole thing that freaks me out is because with no electric, this, no that. I don't get it. I don't understand. At this point in what we're living in, grasp it, enjoy it, and soak it in, use it.
I think it's the Jesus thing again. It's it's the whole God thing, and because they don't do the whole reason they don't have electricity and all that. I don't know if you know this part is because they won't do anything that isn't mentioned in the Bible. So the Bible was written a pretty long time ago. So they didn't have your electricity, your iPhones. You see what I'm saying? So they're all like, oh,
right.
It must not be godly because it's not in the Bible. Okay, progress. It's an actual word. Don't be fearful of it. But they're not usually the hardcore Amish, what we call old Amish. They're not. That you wouldn't be afraid of them. Although sometimes I get afraid of Hasidic Jews here in Los Angeles. I first thought they were Amish because it's the same outfit, but and that's weird, right? It's like, who designed that? And but they're because the Hasidic Jews don't like women, so they're like kind of hostile to you if you happen to bump into them or anything on the street. Whereas Amish won't even be on the street; you'll never see them. It's all good. Don't hassle the horses when they go by you in the buggy, and you'll probably be fine.
I was just going to say, if they are on the street, they're in their little buggy with their horse.
Right. So at least they stand out. You know who they are. You know what I mean? You're not going to insult somebody and then be like, oh my God, I didn't realize you were Amish. That's not going to happen. So that's good, right? It's not like it's going to be a mistake. You're not going to be dancing with some chick at the bar and then go, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were Amish. Oh, wow. Yeah, so they don't play with us.
So you were actually, from time to time, I'll put a little thing up there on social media and say, hey, who would you like to hear on Totally Driven Radio? And your name came up.
What? Oh, my God, that means you got some lesbian listeners. Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Yeah, it's good for
ratings. That's exactly what happened.
That's cool. I'm glad. I mean, because you could have said we just had an open spot and we didn't have anybody, and somebody who knew somebody else saw you once in New York, did a show, something like that, like some horrible thing, and they were like, "Does she still do comedy? Let's call her."
How about that? Yeah, you were specially requested.
Oh my God! I just got a little girlwood. That was awesome.
So how
you said I could say girlwood.
Yes, you can. How does a girl from Lancaster end up doing stand-up? Did you move to Hollywood and chase the dream, or did you start out here?
No, I started out in doing every single play and making little shows when I was a kid and all that stuff. Let's put on a show with the neighborhood kids. Then I went to college like an asshole to get a Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting because that's so useful. That's going to come up. And then I went to New York City and I lived there for like 10 years. I was bartending and going, I'm going to be a famous Broadway actress, but I never did anything, not a thing. And people were like, they'd come into the bar and they'd be like, you're so funny. You should do stand-up. You should start. And I was like, I'm not a comic. I'm an actor. And then I tried it one night. And I won this contest. There were like 25 comics get up. And, you know, when you do it your first time and you win, $25, thank you very much. You go, oh, man, I'm totally going to do this.
So that means you become a professional. That was like your first paying gig.
I know, right? But then after that, there was a sort of a time where I wasn't paid because you don't realize they're not all contests and they're not going to give you money. And it used to cost me money, especially if you go to like Long Island and it's like every bridge you cross was like $8. It was so much money to get out there. But
yeah, that adds up quick.
Mhm. And this is a long time ago, man.
Yeah, so now it's be like $20.
Well, and then in 94, 95, I started coming out to Los Angeles. I did an HBO special, and I was trying to get, you know, TV shows and all that stuff. But right before I got my talk show, I am not kidding, Ellen came out, and they all went, oh, we have a lesbian. And I swear to God, I would go to these meetings with these big mucky mucks, and they were like into it for a while. And then when Ellen came out, everybody was like, that the meetings were like, yeah, there's a lesbian now. We're good. We got one. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was just that one spot we were going to fill, you know. And that was, so now I just do stand up everywhere. I still audition for stuff because it's fun-ish.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, was that, I guess, like, at one point, was that, like, the goal was to get maybe a sitcom or something like that? But, I mean,
absolutely.
Your reality, your roots were from
acting
before the whole comedy thing.
Correct. And I'm still not giving it up. Nobody, I don't think anyone does, because I still work. I still live here. I'm still doing okay. So you're like, you know, you're like, oh, maybe you'll meet the person who will, because in Hollywood, it's not like you're just going to have a show. Somebody has to have the show for you. The only thing that I see now that's so sort of spectacular is if I start a podcast, which I'm planning to do, you might get famous without having to bend down and get all the approval from the bigwigs. You know what I mean? Because if you do a podcast and they like you, that's like an amazing thing that's happened with the internet. You don't need to get the approval of the bigwigs. You put your show on, if people like you, you're in. Ta-da! I love that.
It's scary because we've been doing this show, it's 5 years now, and there was a contest in Philly here, like, you know, best of this, best of that, and they had a best of Philly radio personality was one of the categories. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll enter in it, and I ended up winning. For 20,
and you're like,
2017.
I love that.
Exactly.
Was that
I'm
just
the
last
best
year?
radio
Just last year?
personality. Last month I got the award,
Congratulations.
People are like, who the fuck is this guy? But it's me.
Yeah, but I'll bet you got more listeners, right? Because you break into those things, somebody puts it in a newspaper, somebody puts it on a flyer, somebody puts it on their website. You know what I mean? And he wants something, maybe I should turn him in. Oh, he is good. Oh, you know what I mean? See, how it works.
Right. It's all...
That's the value.
Yep. Adding more baby steps to build up that ladder.
And that's all. I mean, that's what we're doing. And quite frankly, I have no other skills. So if it doesn't work out, at some point I'm going to have to, I don't know, be a greeter at Walmart. And we don't even have Walmart in LA, so I'd have to probably leave. But what are the other options? I guess I could go back
Uber?
to bartending. I do have that as a skill. No, I hate driving. I'm not good. I'm one of those whiny blonde girls who's like, oh, can't you drive? I don't want to. I'm one of those.
Out there, the traffic is so bad, so I couldn't imagine being Uber out there.
Well, and now they think, I am not making this up, over in Santa Monica, they think that the Uber drivers that are robbing people, because what they're doing is they pick you up at your house and then they take you somewhere, so they know you're not at your house, so they go back and break in. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. So now you have to act like you did. Like so now you have to act like there's people there, I guess, when you leave. You know, like I used to do this when you have takeout and you're by yourself, but you don't want that person who's delivering it to think you're eating all that food you just ordered. So you act like there's somebody, hey, honey, I'll get it. Okay. Oh, they have everything. Okay. All right. You know, and acting like there's someone in the house with you. Now you have to do that when you get Uber. You don't get robbed. Yeah, I had to
be
leave
waving at the house goodbye and.
Right. No, or like being like, yeah, well, I had to leave my two twin brothers who are 6 feet tall and professional wrestlers. I had to leave them behind tonight. But anyway, you'd be making up crap like that. It'd be fun.
So when you started really getting into the whole world of comedy, I mean, did you immediately start billing yourself as the lesbian comedian, or
yes.
was that something really?
No, that was what happened. I started in July 31st, 1990, and so nobody was an open lesbian comic in the clubs, and I was like, I'm doing it. Screw them, I'm doing it. And I got up in the it was Catch a Rising Star and the comic strip and clubs that are gone now, the improv and things like that. And everybody was like, wow, what's going, and it was because it was New York City, because New York City's pretty cool, and they were like, this is fantastic, this is crazy, she's funny and a lesbian, what? And it was fun, and I rode that wave, and that's kind of what I did.
Were clubs, did some clubs get scared to maybe take a chance, we don't want you here, or?
The first time I felt that was actually at the Dallas Improv, which makes me sad because I love Dallas and I've had great times there since. But the very first time I ever had anybody, I was part of a 3-women comedy that were there for 2 weeks, and the other 2 were just straight gals, and then me, I was the lesbian, and I would get up and I'd say, hi, I'm going to be the only lesbian tonight, or whatever. I don't know, some goofy thing I said that I thought was funny back then. And a couple of people go, we pay no money to hear no damn lesbian. And they would get up and walk out. I had that happen a couple times. And I was like, oh, no, this is going to suck. What's going to happen? But I really haven't. I would say the only place that really, put me down, said, nope, we can't do it, was television for a long time. Because trying to get on the Tonight Show, trying to get on, anything like that. They were like, And that took longer because I think it was 2007 or something like that when I finally got on Letterman. Wow. And even then it was they didn't advertise it, they didn't make a fuss. I was just sort of pushed in there at the end. Here's the lesbian comic. Okay, good night, everybody.
Now that time has gone on and it's become more either socially accessible or very cool to be gay or lesbian, or
kinda.
Has the doors been easy? Has things been easier for you now? Shall we say?
Probably not for me specifically, but definitely for everyone who's coming to every other comic who started after me. Do you know what I mean? Definitely every other gay comic, because they tell me about it, and I feel great about it. You're they're like, thanks for opening that door, And what's interesting and sort of sad is that now gay comics getting up in any club. I mean, you can be in Tennessee at a club. It doesn't matter, right? It's not really a bad thing, but they still separate women comics. They still do the ladies' night for women comedy night. You know what I mean? And that's sort of sad. You're like, oh my God. So it's giant leap forward in GLBT, right? LGBT, whichever way you want to use all the freaking initials, right? But there's, because it's out of hand at this point. We're so close to having to use Roman numerals. But for women, it's still, you go to get up at a club, even here in Hollywood, and they have a list of comedians, and you walk in and you say, I'd like to get up and do some minutes, and they're like, oh, well, we already have 2 women getting up tonight, but there's 15 comics. And you're like, what? And they're still doing that, and you're like, oh my God, when will that change? I don't think I'm going to live for that one.
Holy cow.
I know, isn't that brutal? That's a sad thing to know, isn't it? It's like, oh man, because women aren't supposed to be funny. Damn it. And some of us try hard not to be.
The last comedy show I went to a few weeks ago was Eleanor Kerrigan. Do you know her?
I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't know. Is she good? Was it fun?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She opens for Dice a lot. She used to be engaged to Dice. Yeah, she travels around with Dice a lot. But she's from here, from Philly, and during the holidays,
I'm so glad.
she comes to visit her family. Yeah, and I went and saw her perform.
I get really excited when anybody from Philly, I know I'm not from Philadelphia. I mean, in fact, if you're from Lancaster, even though it's an hour away, it's like 25 years away. It's like completely different. But I always get excited when someone from Philly is doing well, because I love that city. Love it. And it's a funny city. It should have the good comedy reputation the way like San Francisco does. It should, and it doesn't. And yet we still have all those great clubs. I know. Why is that? It bumps me out.
I don't know. Yeah, and there's the scene is definitely growing here. I mean, for years, like the comedy club was Helium Comedy Club in Philly, and now in the last year and a half, there's Punchline, and now they've opened casinos up in the area, and
they have comics.
Yeah, they're having every Wednesday night. They have in the small club in Parks Casino. They have comedians, and now they opened it's opening this weekend, I think. They opened a big hall for the place, and they're having concerts and comedians in there. And so, yeah, I mean, it's definitely growing in the city over the last 5 years. Yeah.
It's the way I've found work through the years is all the rock clubs around the country. I just would have my agent booker would call them up and they didn't have comics ever, and we just would talk them into it because it's so easy to do a comic. I don't have any I don't have any equipment. I don't have to do loading. I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't have anything. Just set up a microphone, and I got it from there. And they would be like, oh, okay, I guess that's all right. We can let her come in. And then it would work out really well, and then I could come back.
Nice.
You have to sort of
you kind
prove
of built
yourself
up your own. Yeah, you kind of built your own thing up.
It's exactly what I did. There was, and not by myself by any means. I mean, I had a booking agent and lesbian folk singers who were paving my path. You know what I mean? Because they would try to get into the rock clubs, and some would be, and some wouldn't. You know what I mean? But they at least had I at least knew the names of who was at the club, who was booking it, or whatever, and I knew who to call, and we would know what to do, which clubs to attack. Oh my God. I can't believe this mood I'm in. It is not getting better. It's not getting better. Oh my God. It's because I had to drive today in LA. I had to go 6 miles one way and then 6 miles the other. And in LA, that's 2 hours out of your day because it's 45 minutes to an hour to drive 6 miles. It's horrible, but it's true. And so now I'm cranky. Imagine if I had a real job that I commute every day.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine that? People would really love you.
My girlfriend has that. And when she gets up every morning and leaves at 5:30 in the morning, you know what I mean, so that she can quote unquote miss the traffic, just being normal traffic. It's and then she leaves me here, and I'm like, all right, I'll do the laundry. You have a good day, honey. I'll go buy. I'm like a wife. I'll go buy groceries. Oh my God, I'm a wife. I just realized it. I'm kind of horrified by my own thoughts right now.
But I'm sure you make a good wife.
Apparently I do. I keep a really nice house. I have a little OCD, and I make it work for me. You know what I mean? Everything's clean. Everything's neat. Labels facing forward. Towels folded in threes the way they're supposed to be. It's perfect. That's how I run my house. And I think most people enjoy that.
And you pack good. It's funny. I go searching through YouTube, and there's a video of you packing before you went on go to a ship.
For a cruise.
I'm like,
to go to work on a ship.
Right.
You know what's amazing is I've been on the road for 24 or 5 years, and I still, though, right before I zip up my suitcase, go, do I have my? You would just think it would be second nature, but I still do the. Wait, do I have soap? Wait, do I have shampoo? Wait, do I pack underwear? Recently, I stopped wearing underwear in order to help that packing.
How about that?
Can't forget underwear if you don't wear it. That's all I'm saying.
It's funny. I'll throw my wife under the bus because she doesn't wear underwear, and our daughters have really taken over the laundry chore of the house, and they came to me a few weeks ago, and they're like, I don't think Mommy wears underwear because we never fold underwear for Yeah, I'm like, yeah, she does.
Oh, yeah, if your daughters take over the laundry, which sounds fantastic when you first hear it, like, oh, yay, we don't have to do laundry, but they're going to know all your secrets. You can't do any weird stuff in the bedroom. You can't have the coming in and going, Mom, there was like whipped cream all over your sheets and like honey and stuff. Were you eating in bed? I don't understand.
Exactly.
You don't want to have to start that conversation.
No.
Sometimes mommies and daddies love each other so much
that they involve
that
food
they try
in their
different
life.
things. Yeah, they bring a lot of food into bed with them. And then she'll be like, oh, good, I can have crackers in bed. No, you can't because that's a mess, but we can.
Oh. So I'm taking it by the name of one of your CDs that you have been mistaken for Cindy Brady at some point in time?
Yeah, for a long time, actually. But when it happened, I was in acting class, of course, and a young kid, he was like 18 or something like that, and he was gorgeous and sweet, and he loved me, and we were friends. We would always sneak out and have a smoke and stuff like that. And he thought my name was Susan, not Suzanne. And then one day he says to me, by the way, my mom loved your show. And I'm going, what? And he goes, I can't wait, in fact, to tell her that Cindy Brady, that I know her and that she's gay. And I'm like, dude, you can't go home and tell your mom that. I didn't say that, by the way. I actually let him tell his mom that. Does that make me a bad person? It was fun. Come on.
Exactly.
I told him
you
like a
have
week
fun
later. Right? I told him like a week later, I'm like, I'm not her, and she's not gay, as far as I know.
So
she did a radio show at the time.
That's right, she did.
Yeah.
Did he go set the record straight?
And I'm sure the pun was intended. I don't. That was good, right? I don't. God, that's a great question. I'm sitting here going, I assume so. Well, nothing horrible happened, meaning it's not like she got outed and then had to have a press conference and say, I'm not a lesbian or anything like that. So apparently it got stopped in its tracks here in L.A. So.
Something that actually I was kind of like blown away by going through your website, your testimonial section. And a person who I grew up watching on TV, Meredith Baxter, her testimonial was that you inspired her to come out, and I thought that was like pretty like mind blowing.
I did, and I was performing. She got talked into with her partner going on to a lesbian cruise, and on the cruise she saw me perform first time, And at the end, I always used to say, you got to come out. You got to be honest and be who you are. It's just ridiculous. I'd make this little plea. Now, of course, I say you have to resist. Things change. And but I said that, and she just struck her. So she was like, I'm gonna. And when she, before she even got back, her manager like phoned her on the ship and said, someone knows you're on the ship, and they're gonna tell newspapers that you're gay. And she's like, I'm good with it. I'm going to come out. It's okay. But then she took me to breakfast and says, what do I say to people? How do I tell them I'm gay? Because she didn't even realize she herself was gay until she was in her 50s.
Wow.
So she didn't know all the lingo and the stuff and gay pride and Stonewall and all that kind of stuff. And so she had an interview with Matt Lauer on the Today Show like the next morning, and I taught her like things to say. Say this. Don't say this. That, don't say like you can't help it that you're gay, you were born that way, because it sounds awful, you know what I mean? And right. I like all this stuff. And now she's probably one of my best friends, oddly enough.
That's awesome.
And I even got to meet Michael Gross, who played her husband. He is adorable and funny. Meredith is funny.
I used to love that show. That was such a great show.
Me too, right? I mean, that was like, that was the show we were all watching, one of the many shows at the time that we were all watching. I mean, television now is so great with Netflix and Hulu and everything. There's so much and so much quality stuff. But the sad part is that we're not, as a country, all watching some of the same things.
Right.
And that's sort of a bummer. You know what I mean? Like I can't get up on stage anymore and go, did you guys see that episode of Handmaid's Tale? Whatever. There's everyone doesn't have Hulu. Everyone, doesn't have Netflix, or some people don't watch this, or they don't have time because there's so much to watch. So you can't really make those kind of jokes as much as you used to, the TV jokes, because not everybody has the same taste or whatever, and they don't watch the same things, or I can't
or they're
watch
watching stuff
if you have
seasons
DVD,
later.
I'm sorry?
Or they're watching
Say
stuff
again?
seasons later.
Right, exactly. Because now that you can do that, right? You can wait and go, oh, I'll catch up, whatever. And it's just changed how I think probably most comics who are in my age group work around television, about when we want to do jokes about that, because all of a sudden it's like your whole audience hasn't seen that, maybe hasn't even heard of it. And you're like, oh, shit, right? Oh, man, wow, this is, got to kind of backpedal. I do a lot of stuff about my dogs. I don't have dogs right now. I have cats. I'm so sorry. But because everybody knows what a cat is. I don't have to worry. I don't have to explain it.
Oh, boy.
That's why I'm in my bad mood, because I drove today I rescued 2 kittens. Some friend of mine, a gay guy was on a hike in Los Angeles, and he found a litter of kittens, and he brought them home. So I took 2 of them. And today's the day that I had to take them to the vet to be de-sexed. So the little girl got her hysterectomy, and the little guy got his nuts cut off. So they're not happy with me right now. I just brought them home like 45 minutes ago. And they are looking at me like, we can kill you in your sleep. We can kill you. As soon as we feel a little bit better and we get our strength back, we're taking you down.
Oh, you better look out. You got about 48 hours of freedom.
I'm serious. As soon as they start feeling better, I feel like I should start like shutting the door, maybe not letting them sleep in the bedroom, things like that. Cause I don't know where it's going to go. They are looking pretty fierce right now. We hate you.
Oh,
whatever you just did to us. Right. Especially the boy. He lost his nuts, man. That is sad. That is sad. And they were beautiful. When they dropped, they were a thing of beauty. When he was a little kid, he could barely walk because they were so big.
You took it away from him.
I did. Can you do? It's got to be done. Can't have more kittens. Dear God. Because I rescued 1 boy and 1 girl. So I had to get someone fixed, even if I never let them outside, which, don't tell anybody, I do let my cats outside because they like it. But you're not supposed to. You're supposed to sign this waiver if you rescue a cat from a shelter that says you won't let it outside. And I'm like, because, I'm going to keep my cat a prisoner. That's awesome. Maybe if I lived in some big, beautiful house up in Malibu or Bel Air or something. But I don't. I live in a little tiny house down at the bottom of the hill.
It's like I live in a townhouse community, and then we have they have to have your Facebook group for your community now. And one of my neighbors always lets her cat out. It's an outside cat. The cat's always out there. And can I tell you how many times a week one of the neighbors will put up, oh, the cat is out again. It's so cold. Please get your cat inside. It's just so ignorant. And then she comes on and she's like, my cat loves to be outside. The cat is fine. I'm like, oh, my God. It's a cat wars.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like, here's the thing. If the cat is out and comes back in and then goes out and comes back in, it's not like it suddenly gets cold and then suddenly gets warm. Do you know what I mean? There's winter.
Right.
So it knows. If it doesn't want to go out, trust me, it's a cat, it won't go out. So that's just ridiculous of the person to bitch about it. Come on. I can give you a list of things to bitch about that are so much more important than that. Watch CNN for 10 minutes. You will have your own list.
You'll have your own list, and then you can start doing your own stand-up routine.
Right. I tell people that all the time. I always give that advice. If a person is sort of like saying, oh, whenever I meet those people, I just met someone, I was down in Richmond, Virginia, and a guy who was waiting on us, and he said, I've wanted to always try stand-up. He didn't know I was a comic or anything. And I said, do it, because it's the one thing you can try, and even if you fail, you get to say later, I tried it. you can be at the bar with your friends and say, hey, I was the one that had the balls to get up there and try it. Oh, I guess my cat can never try comedy now. I took his balls. Damn it.
So are you going to be in New Hope, Pennsylvania? Like I saw it on your website, but I didn't see any info anywhere else. Or?
I did the New Hope Winery. I do a show there like once a year, and I think last year was around March or April, so I might be back. I wish I was my booking agent so that I could answer these questions more proficiently. I know. Listen, I know I'm in Akron on Saturday night. Does that count?
That counts.
I try to. Yeah, I usually only memorize, like 2 weeks at a time, and just go with that. But I will probably be back in New York because I love it. I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, but the New Hope one though. Let me see if I can pull it real quick, because it was actually for next weekend. Is it next weekend or next week?
No, that was
January 24th.
No, not this year. It's not. That might be something from last year or the year before, because it's not on my schedule yet for this year, as far as I know, which leads me to believe I should make a phone call to my booking agent tomorrow.
See that?
But who doesn't love New Hope? I mean, just being that is I hate saying quaint, but it is the most quaint little city. It's so great out there, and so I love doing the show there. And then when you're doing a show. Oh, my God, it's adorable. It's antiques and bookstores. Ugh. How can you not? I mean, I've been going to New Hope, though, since I was in 7th, 8th grade, because we would go and take plays to, they have the New Hope Playhouse right downtown by the by the river, and we would, so I've been going there before it was openly a gay area.
Oh, wow.
When it was just artistic people. And when I said artistic, I raised my eyebrows in that way, artistic.
Oh, too funny. Too freaking funny.
Different times. Different times.
Different, it is. So, all right, so this Saturday, you make a little stop at Akron, Ohio, at the Akron Civic Theater. And then
this is true.
Hopefully, and sometime soon, you got to call New Hope so we can come out and see you.
Yeah, call. You know what? Tell people to call the winery and request me, because that will help when I call them again. That people don't. I say that to people all the time. It's so funny. They'll go, "How come you didn't come back to whatever? Or when are you going to come back to our town or club or wherever it was playing?" I said, it helps if you could just send them an email, request me, or pick up the phone. Nobody picks up the phone, but you know what I mean. Send an email, because that's exactly how 95% of us get booked in clubs, booked in theaters. That's how it works. That's how you called me.
Yeah.
That's how.
Absolutely.
And people don't realize the control they have.
And now I got to start doing it. I'm gonna send an email.
It's so easy. It's you email a club that you like, you tell them the comics you like, and that they'll make an effort to get them, because they want you in there, buying $20 nachos.
Right.
Comedy club food. Somebody ought to write a book about that.
or just do a whole routine on it.
I just thought of that. And that's a very good idea, as a matter of fact. Oh, maybe I will. Hey, I'm a comedian. Maybe I'll do it.
How about that?
Thank you so much. What would I do without you?
I'm telling
Helping me through my career. I love it.
Well, you should have listened to me sooner, right?
I don't know why I didn't, and now now I'm going to be listening all the time. First of all, I just following you on Twitter, because I'm a Twitter whore, because I'm so political. It's funny, I'm not political in my shows per se, but I'm so political one-to-one, or you know what I mean? And I'm on Twitter, so I just started following you guys on Twitter, so I'll be retweeting all your stuff.
Nice.
I'm a good Twitter person. I retweet.
Twitter is, you do a whole routine on Twitter, because Twitter is such it's a game. because then you get the people who follow you for like a day or two, and then they unfollow you. It's like...
And what's that? It's like, did I say something offensive? What happened?
Right. It drives me nuts.
I try to just be really, like I said, I'm really political. I follow a lot of political people. So I think the majority of my followers are probably fans and or political people, you know, who want me saying trash about Trump and whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's the kind of stuff I'm doing and retweeting. And then the occasional really cute cat photo. Just to keep it interesting. Like politics,
you just have
politics.
Yeah, and dash it with pet photos and food, and it evens it all out.
I don't do the food ones. I don't get those. I don't get those on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. I don't get the food stuff. I'm like, so you're eating. Well, good for you. We're all doing it sometimes. I don't get it. But I'm not a foodie. Like, I'm not a chef, a secret chef, or a good cook. I have, like, 5 meals that I could make that are Lancaster County things. Do you know what I mean? And that's like it.
Right.
Although I do not make souffle pie.
Oh, I haven't had that in a long time. As soon as I said Lancaster County, Nick sent me a message. He goes, Miller Smorgasbord.
Exactly. I mean, stopping by there, oh, my God, there's so much food. And you get to sit with everybody in the big family thing. Oh, I love it. I love all that stuff. I mean, I don't want to live there. That's sad.
Right.
Because I grew up there. Plus,
you did that,
it's
you're
your
over
weather. It's the weather that tossed me out of the East Coast. You come to Los Angeles, and whether or not you like Los Angeles, you get completely seduced by the fact that we think it's cold because it's, 58 degrees. And we get our jackets out and our Uggs on and go, oh, my God, it's so cold. And then when, 58 degrees on the East Coast is, spring. It's like, what?
Right.
And that's, yeah. And I tell you, when you watch the local news, like, and you see the weather, and you guys are having terrible snowstorms, they try not to be horrible about it, but they're so snide. They're like, they'll show a picture of 9 feet of snow and somebody trying to get their car through it or whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, today it'll be 75 and sunny, later tonight dropping down to 60. Here on the East Coast in Philadelphia, it's 1 degree, and they just had 16 inches of snow. They don't have to tell you, but we do it. Mean.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's been for the most part the last few weeks. It's been 9 degrees on average, except for we haven't had that much snow. A couple inches here and there.
No, you haven't gotten snow. Where they got all the snow up in northwestern PA and up, of course, up in New England. Where I went to college was near Erie, Pennsylvania, and that was the one that was what was that, 10 days ago, where they got 3 feet of snow in overnight, something crazy like that. And I was, I'm like, nope, can't do it. Love the East Coast and love the people. I do. There is a difference. Do you know what I mean? There is a kind of East-West Coast difference in the way people are, kind of in general. And I do fit better in the New York, Philadelphia area. But Los Angeles, right now, they've been talking on our news, they've been saying we're getting a cold snap. And a cold snap here means that in the day, it will only get to be about 68 or 70. That's a cold snap.
A cold snap. Nice.
Yeah. That's what they actually said. The weather guy actually said, next 10 days, big cold snap coming in from this. I'm not a meteorologist. And he said, cold snap, because we're not gonna reach past 70 or 71 degrees at all for the next 10 days. And that's a cold snap, and you're like, oh my God. Oh, if they
already.
knew. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
but we
boy,
have no water. That's what I tell people. If someone from the East Coast will say to me, oh my God, your weather is so perfect, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, but we don't have any water. So, that's kind of a drag.
You have no water, you have forest fires, you have mudslides,
oh, yeah.
occasional earthquakes. I don't
we
know.
Haven't had
I think I'll deal with the cold.
Forever.
Yeah, right. Please.
In fact, our friend Meredith Baxter and her partner were just almost evacuated for those big last fires that were happening up in Ventura and all that area. The big ones they just had, was that like a month ago? And
yeah, they were scary.
Well, this was the first time because, like I said, I live just beside I live in West Hollywood at the base of the Hollywood Hills, and we never get the fires. We're on sort of flat land, and there's no forest right around us. But it was the first time it got to the Getty Center, which is the museum, and that's only like 6 miles from our house. And this was the first time I packed a suitcase and got birth certificates and all this stuff all ready to go in case because they were doing the ready, set, go thing and sending all these messages on your text like, be ready in case you have to evacuate. Be ready to evacuate quickly, gas up your car, do all this stuff. I did all that, but it didn't happen. I was pretty glad. I almost got evacuated for 3 Mile Island when I was a kid in high school.
Holy cow. I remember that.
Remember that?
I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, I was like, I can't, it was like my sophomore year, senior, something like that. And we had to be ready then, like with our little bags all packed up. And the only time I've actually been evacuated was visiting friends in Florida. Because you go down there and they're going, hurricane, hello. They have hurricane season. We don't have earthquake season. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's messy. It's insanity. And we were down there to visit friends, and some big storm came, and we were in the Tampa St. Pete area, and they were like, "Yep, everybody has to drive to Orlando," and we just had to get in our rental and find a hotel, and we were staying in some hotel with 1 billion other people, including children. Oh, sorry. I just let it be known how much I'm not a fan of kids. It's good. It's good I turned out to be a lesbian because I didn't want children even when I was a child. I'm too selfish.
Yeah, but they can do laundry.
Yeah, but I like doing laundry in my special way. I'm trying to think, what would I use a kid for? Definitely get me the remote. That I would like. Someone to keep after the remote, you know what I mean? Always know where it is, give it to you. That'd be nice. That seems mean, doesn't it? Just to have kids, to have someone to help you with house chores. But why else have them?
Well, look, that couple out in California, they had, 13 of them or something?
Oh, the thing that's happening, I haven't been on the news much today, which is really unusual for me, but I checked in while I was waiting at the vet, and I saw that it's disgusting, horrible, torturous stuff. That group,
right?
That couple,
right?
They're from Texas, but they moved here to California a couple years ago, and they were chaining their kids up. They had wasn't it like 15 of them or 9? Like something? It's insanity.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And you're like, and I'm just here saying, you just know they're going to be some kind of weird religious. You just know it. And they're going to think this was all perfectly acceptable. Like, oh, well, they did things against Satan or pro-Satan stuff, or they listened to the wrong music. We had to chain them up. Yeah.
It's going to go back to religion. It all goes back to religion somehow, some way.
Well, I'm a big old atheist, so I'm always saying that. Like, if we could stop with the daddy in the sky stuff, we would be doing much better as a planet. But not everybody believes with me. Way too many people like their religion. Even my family. I have to do when I go home for Christmas or Thanksgiving or any of those kind of holidays, I don't go to church. I'm not, I have some integrity. But when everybody's praying and doing all that stuff, I have to do the stand quietly, don't make a face. That's what my mom says. Don't make a face when we're praying. I know what you're thinking. Don't make that face. So I have to keep my face real still. Don't make any comic faces while they're praying about the food. And we're back to food again.
It's what makes the world go round.
We just did a circle. A food circle. Oh, my God.
No,
See, it is. I'm sitting out back. I'm sitting out back on my little patio, by the way, and it's nightfall now. You know, it's like, sorry, like 6:15, 6:30, and it's getting chilly because it's like 62 degrees, and I'm sitting out here now going, oh my God, it's getting cold. I'm gonna go in. Sad. All my blood, all my tolerance for cold.
We're going to have a heat wave here this weekend. It's going up to the 50s.
Ooh. What are you going to get your shorts out? They would probably if it were Boston. You know they would.
Yeah, you know, I would too, but I have to, you know, because the Eagles are in the championship game this weekend. So.
Oh, that's right.
We went to a friend's house last week for the playoff game, and after they won, we decided, you know, we have to go back again this week. You don't want to break the mojo and mess up the juju and all that stuff.
Right on.
So I have to wear my same Eagles gear that I had on last week. So I will have on So no shorts on Sunday, but
here's the thing. I'm not a big sports fan at all, but I'm a lesbian, so I can't get away from it. My partner, of course, she played Division I basketball and was a big deal in college and all that stuff. And so she watches all the football and she tries to teach me, but I find it a little boring and a little weird. So far she's taught me some basketball. That one is a little more interesting to watch. Football, football doesn't look like anything. I never see the ball. I never see the ball. I never see where they're going. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand. But she's slowly trying to ease me into the different sports. She's an Eagles fan, though. You'll be happy to know. Even though she's originally a Long Island girl. So, but she likes the Eagles. But she generally watches college football because she follows, and I don't even understand. I didn't even know this was a thing people do. She follows coaches that she knows because they were maybe players or now they're a coach and she knew them when they were a junior coach. You know what I mean? So she follows like in a very different way. Like she doesn't do the like team or city or anything like that. She's all about like whether it's women's basketball or men's college football. Like she knows all this crap about these coaches, and I'm like, how do you even like keep that crap in your brain? It's so much information. It's like, ugh. She'll go, yeah, he started over at Baylor, but he didn't do really well, so they kicked him back to and I'm going, what's happening? I'm not listening anymore. And in my mind, I'm singing a Charlie Puth song. Because I still like Top 40.
I do too. I like it all.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. I get so tired of that. You know, ever since I can remember, when you're the age when you're supposed to like Top 40, like your teens, you're not supposed to like it because you're supposed to like the cool alternative stuff.
Right.
And then when you get older, you're not supposed to like Top 40 because you're supposed to be older and, you know what I mean, like classic stuff, things like that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I still like the stuff they play on the basic radio stations. Isn't that sad? What can I tell you? This girl likes to dance.
Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, though.
I think
Got it.
so.
Got to dance, dance, dance.
Dance, dance, dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was Panic at the Disco. Dance, dance, dance. Remember that? That was a while back. Oh, my God. We're talking about Top 40 music now. Ah. Now I do feel better. Thank you. You're
now
good
I
at
made
this.
your day better for you.
You
That's
did deserve that award.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm going to have to put a testimonial up on my website.
Not a problem. Do you have my email address? Email me and I totally will. So, tell me how the basics of it, and I will absolutely do it. And I'm good with words. I have a college education. Remember? Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting. Totally useless degree.
That's right.
But I'm good with that kind of stuff.
Meanwhile, it's funny because my next guest, he's also, and I didn't realize this either, but he also is a college graduate. I'm a high school dropout.
Oh, man. Look at you, though, getting all the intellectuals in. Maybe he'll say words you don't understand. You should have your phone by you so you can Google it in case he, says something that you haven't heard before, some word that's not in your lexicon. Then you can, act like you know what you're talking about. That's the great thing. You can be a
That's where Nick comes in, especially because Nick is definitely the smarter of the two. And he, he's also kind of like
so
a
teacher
one? Type person. Maybe. I don't know.
I like it. There's usually when you have a duo like this in radio, you got the one who's smart and the one who's pretty.
We kind of look like long-lost brothers, actually.
Wait, you look like what?
Long-lost brothers.
Oh, my God, you look alike? That's hysterical.
Two fat guys that wear glasses and beards.
Beards? Are you millennials?
No.
Oh, is this...
We earned our beard.
Well, I'm just covering up my double chin.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to be lazy about shaving. That's my. I'm gonna guess on that.
Yeah,
that as well.
Yeah, because
it's
that's
free
heartbreaking.
to not shave.
Right? Shaving your face every day, that would suck.
Yeah, I don't do that. Can't do it.
I mean, we have periods, so I'm not going to give you anything, but I'm still saying shaving your face every day would just sort of blow.
The funny part is, as soon as you said about the period, I'm like, she trumps us. Like we have no argument. So,
yeah, blood doesn't gush from you every month, but you have to shave your face every day. So, but the nice thing is you can choose to not shave your face and still look decent and be fine. We can't really just let the blood come out of us wherever we are. I think people would frown on that. I think that would be bad. And we can't stop it from happening. You know what I mean? Like, you can stop shaving your face. I can't stop having my period. Well, I can by getting pregnant. But I'm gonna opt out of that.
Opting out of pregnancy. There you go.
Well, especially because I don't have sperm in my life. You know what I mean? I think it would be really difficult and expensive to get pregnant. It's so easy when you're in high school. You can get pregnant like that. Man, no problem. But then when you get older and you want to get pregnant and you're a lesbian, you got to pay somebody for sperm. Paying for sperm. Are you kidding me? It was everywhere in college.
It's like, where did all the sperm go? Is the question.
Right? Where did all that free sperm go that you were like wiping off your floor after a party? Now it's like some guy, which I don't understand that at all. Can't the guy just give? What's he doing with it? Give it away. Be a nice
mystery
guy.
Question of life.
Yep. What are men doing with the sperm they don't use? You never see that documentary.
That is coming to Netflix. I would not be surprised. Very shortly.
Probably. Oh my God! You say it, and now in like 15 days, in like 2 weeks, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, hey, you're not gonna believe it. I just saw a thing. They're gonna have a Netflix series about what men do with their sperm they're not using.
They have the wildest documentaries on there, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Exactly. I mean, they're like trying to be the HBO of documentaries.
Yeah.
Because for a while there, HBO was the documentary. They were the top. They were the gold standard. I don't know where that accent just came from right there. I'm sorry. That was weird.
All right. So where should we send everybody to find you, like you, love you, follow you, and come out and see you?
Well, follow me on Twitter, or you can befriend me on Facebook, also on Instagram, and if you check in on my website now and again, you'll see when the shows are up. I just started putting up the shows for this year, so I don't know what's up there yet. It's probably only one or two. But and then if you want to see me someplace, request me at that place, and It'll happen. Boom.
There you go. Solve
That's
that
not
problem.
difficult.
Nope.
And if
Just
you bring
email
me
your
Diet
local
Dr.
comedy
Pepper,
club.
I'll be like your friend.
And now we
That's
know.
not hard.
Nope.
Drug of choice.
Well,
Hey,
Suzanne,
Obama
this has been
drank Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm okay with it.
I'm a Diet Pepsi guy myself.
I get it. I prefer that second, like meaning if there's not Diet Dr. Pepper, and there often isn't, it's not the popular one, I will go to Diet Pepsi. That's my second fave.
Nice. Well, this has been great
So we have
to
that.
talk to you and getting to know you and all this fun stuff that we discussed. We discussed.
I know.
I never thought I'd be discussing periods and sperm with a lesbian.
Well, why not, right? First of all, lesbians have lots of questions about sperm. Although I was what they call a successful heterosexual in my high school and college years. And when I say successful, I mean whore. But and so, there comes a time when you got to be honest about who you were. And so I did have sperm. I had sperm in my life back in the day. Oh my God.
We're gonna have to save that for next the next appearance.
Time. When I had sperm, that'll be my memoir.
When I was Cindy Brady and had sperm.
And had sperm. Perfect. Oh my God.
Suzanne, again, thank you so much. This was great, and hopefully you'll be coming back to the Philly area soon. I'm going to send that email.
Listen to me, thank you. You completely changed the trajectory of my night. I am feeling better. I'm feeling in a good mood. I'm over having to be in traffic. That was all you did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Have a great time out there in Radioland.
Yep. Absolutely. Take care.
Thanks for having me on, baby. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. All right, there she goes, Suzanne Westenhoefer. Check her out. She's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and how about that, Nick? Honest to God, I never thought I'd be talking to a lesbian about periods and sperm.
Well, I